Everybody's very excited. I am too, because this is one of my favorite residencies we have with the Teachers and Writers Collaborative. I just absolutely love you. You're going to be astounded of the poetry that your children wrote. It's phenomenal. And we have this in second grade, and we also have it in first grade. So today we have the second grade celebration, and we have Mr. Matt here, who is one of my favorite teachers and poets. Right? And Jordan is here. Where's Jordan? Raise your hand. She's in charge of the program, so we love her too. And I'm not going to take up any more time, but we want to thank them so much. I know Elaine couldn't come today, but Elaine is the person that makes this really possible at PS51. She's from Amy Financial, the vice president, and she funds this program. So she funds the first and second grade Teachers and Writers Collaborative, in addition to the New York City Ballet program in the third and fourth grade. So we love you, Elaine. We know you're going to see this video of us, and I'll see you very soon. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Mr. Matthew. Wow, that was great. Let me start this way. Let me start by sharing with our family and our friends and all of the guests and visitors who came here today. Let's show them how we start each day, okay? All right, what's the first thing we do? Sophia? Imagination. Okay, and Sophia, how do we do that? Show us. Show us. Yes, okay, so why don't we invite our friends and visitors to activate their imaginations before we begin. On the first day, I usually just flip the invisible switch at the side of my head, but there's always some students who invent their own ways. Right, Azria, do you want to show? Come on. Azria actually learned this from Allison Moore, who is my assistant during this program. This is sign language. And what does this mean? To learn. Right, to learn. You want to speak in the mic? It's kind of fun.
To learn.
There you go, okay. All right, so once our imaginations are activated, we like to remind ourselves and each other something important, right? We like to remind ourselves and each other that we're poets. So repeat after me. I'm a poet. I'm a poet. And I know it. And I know it. I've got my whole life. To show it. I'm a poet. I'm a poet. So are you. So are you. Into the sky. Into the sky. Our poems flew. Our poems flew. Beyond the birds. Beyond the birds. Through the clouds. Through the clouds. Leaving a trail. Of beautiful words. Of beautiful words. Then what do we do? Snap. So, we want to invite you, the guests, to also snap today with us. Okay, so if you hear something you like, when a student reads, we snap in response. Sometimes if it's so amazing and you feel like you have to applaud, you can also just break into applause. Hopefully you'll be inspired to do that once or twice. So I'm here, this is my third year at PS51. But I've been teaching in New York City public schools since 2001 with Teachers and Writers Collaborative. And Teachers and Writers Collaborative has been around for 50 years. We're about to celebrate our 50-year anniversary. And what we've been doing is sending professional creative writers into New York City public schools to share our love of writing and literature with young people. And also to collaborate with classroom teachers to think of ways of bringing that love of writing and literature to our students. And we believe that if from a young age you realize that writing is not just a chore, it's not just something that's difficult, but it's something that is fun, it's a form of communication and self-expression, and if from this age as second graders we begin to identify as writers and recognize that we are creative, and that we are writers, that it makes a difference. I also am a professor at Brooklyn College, so I see what happens to us, right? I see my students who take composition show up the first day, and they're like, uh-oh, here we go. And so it's my belief that the earlier we start and recognize our amazing potential as writers and as creative people, the better. So we're here today to demonstrate that and to share with you what we've been up to for the last 16 class visits. All right, so to begin the presentation, I want to let our students, these second graders, demonstrate to our visitors some of the things they know. Okay, they've learned a lot, and I think you'll be impressed. Neil already has his hand up, so he knows something, but I haven't asked the question yet, so let me ask the question. So what do you add to your writing to make your writing more exciting? Okay? Cecilia?
Delicious details.
All right, delicious details, very good. So delicious details, we add colors, we add names, we add actions. We don't just say, my soul is a dog. We say, my soul is a chihuahua chewing on a cheese enchilada, right? We add details. That was what came out, so. Now, what do you call it? But I haven't asked. What do you call it when you pretend that something's a person that's not really a person, right? You know it? Okay, hold on.
Personification.
Personification, great, personification. Not a small word for a second grader, personification. What do you call it when words imitate sounds? Words that imitate sounds. Anthony, you think you got this?
Alliteration.
No, words that imitate sounds. I'm going to give you one more chance because I think you know this because you use it a lot.
Onomatopoeia.
Onomatopoeia. If you have an onomatopoeia word ready for me, raise your hand. We're just going to popcorn some onomatopoeia words. Here. Bus. Buzz. Good.
Plop.
Plop.
Zip. Pop. Boom.
Where's Joshua? Joshua, where are you? Oh, Joshua. What does Joshua always say, Lynette?
Boom shakalaka.
Boom shakalaka. We always end on him when he says boom shakalaka. Okay, so onomatopoeia, delicious details. What if you, this one's a little harder. What if you talk to something in a poem as if it's really there? You say, poem, wake up. It's time to get to school. Do you think you know? Madison? Apostrophe people. How many people here know that? Right? Apostrophe, right? Apostrophe, great. What is a paragraph in a poem? What's a section of a poem called? Jaycia? Here, why don't you say it? Let me just step over here. Say it in the microphone. Stanza. Great. Good job. All right. And what is a poem that praises a person, place, or thing? This is a small word, a poem of praise. Who haven't I heard from? An ode. All right, very good. Okay, so are you impressed?
Yes.
Yeah, very impressive. Okay, so we're really just getting started. These are our poetry terms that we've learned. There are more, but that gives you a little sense of things. And I just noticed that we have the first graders here, right? I want to make sure you feel welcome. And the first graders have also been learning poetry, is that true? Yeah! All right, and hopefully we'll see you next year in the second grade. So you'll get a little taste today, first graders, of what might be coming around the bend next year. All right, so let's move on to some class presentations. We're going to invite 402 up to the stage to present something for you. As class 402 is coming up to the stage, I want to share something with you, give you a little glimpse that really what we're doing today is we're celebrating the amazing ability and creativity of the second graders. But we're also celebrating the publication of our anthology. The anthology is here, and we'll learn more about this soon. But I just want to give you a quick glimpse during the intermission that this is our brand new anthology that just arrived to the school yesterday. Okay, we're about ready. So this is a poem, it's called Ode to Poetry, and this is a collaborative poem. What that means is that we gathered details as a group. Each student wrote poems, and we pulled those details together into one super poem. This is called Ode to Poetry by the poets of 2402. And would you work the bell? All right, here we go. Poetry. Are you magic? Are you the moon? Why do I always see you on the street in Manhattan? Poetry, I'm all out of memories. Can you help me? Poetry, you are a string of pasta flying into my mouth. Poetry, you are a giraffe eating leaves that are easy to find. Poetry, you dance, dance, down, down, deep underground. Poetry, you are like a sun that makes kids hot, but that is good because kids love ice cream. Poetry makes happiness grow from blossom tree to blossom tree. Poetry, you make life easier to live. Poetry, you are a heart giving love to everybody. Poetry, you are my promise I can never break. Poetry is a peaceful polka dot parrot with an eye patch on his left eye. Poetry, do you have a mustache? Poetry, why do you always pop into my mind? Poetry is fun to write. Did you know that you can write however you like? Poetry is like birds flying up in the greatest, bluest sky to find worms to feed their babies. See you later, alligator. All right, snap. Very good, excellent statue. We call these poem statues, and all of those lines come directly from the students, and all of those motions also come from the students as well. We stand up, and I give them a line, and we see how we're moved. We see what comes up, and then we refine them together. Now, we have a little special treat this year because we were fortunate enough to have Allison Moorer, who's a singer-songwriter and also a graduate student at the New School, assisting us this year. And we thought, since Allison has tremendous experience writing and singing songs and having traveled all over the world doing this, why don't we bring those talents to our second graders? So the two of us collaborated on creating a songwriting lesson because, of course, as you know, song lyrics are like poems, right? They're very similar. So Allison brought her guitar, and we took a song from Sound of Music, which a lot of you are probably familiar with, and we worked with the students. Once again, they wrote the lyrics. They adapted the lyrics to the famous song. So we're going to sing that for you now, and it's called I Simply Turn On My Imagination.